Lawrence Kohlberg was born on October 25, 1927 in Bronxville, New York, to Alfred and Charlotte Kohlberg. He was the youngest of 4 children. His father was a Jewish-German entrepreneur and his mother was a Christian-German chemist. Sadly, Alfred and Charlotte separated when Lawrence was only 4 and eventually divorced when he was 14. Lawrence's 2 older brothers went on with their mom, while Lawrence and his older brother remained in their father's custody. Lawrence graduated from high school at Phillips Academy, an elite prep school in Andover, Massachusetts, before joining the Merchant Marines at the end of World War II. He then became involved with the Haganah, a Jewish paramilitary organization that would eventually become the Israel Defense Force. Lawrence aided the Haganah in smuggling Jewish refugees from Romania and into Palestine to help them escape persecution. However, these refugees had to be smuggled through a British blockade, and eventually Lawrence was captured and held in an internment camp on Cyprus. After some time, he managed to escape with several of his crewmates. Upon his return to America in 1948, he enrolled in the University of Chicago and obtained his bachelor's degree within a year. In 1955, Lawrence married Lucille Stigberg and had 2 sons, David and Stephen. He eventually graduated with a doctoral degree in psychology in 1958. Upon graduating, he was made the assistant professor of psychology at Yale University, where he would work until 1961. Lawrence then proceeded to spend a year learning at the Center for Advanced Study in the Behavioral Sciences in Palo Alto, California. He then returned to his old college, the University of Chicago, where he worked in the psychology department until 1967. In 1968, he became the professor of education and social psychology at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, a post he would hold until his death in 1987. Throughout the latter stages of his life, Lawrence Kohlberg suffered greatly from abdominal pains and deteriorating health due to the medication he took to help ease these pains. He also suffered from occasional bouts of depression. On January 19, 1987, Lawrence drove his car down to the Boston Harbor. He then proceeded to walk out into the frigid waters and drown himself. His colleagues were shocked when they learned what had happened, and his passing was mourned by many. Arguably, the greatest accomplishment of Lawrence Kohlberg's life was his stages of moral development that he wrote about in his dissertation in 1958. Let's take a closer look at these stages.
Hello? Hi, so, you know me, I was in here a few weeks ago, and I just really need the drug for my wife.
This one?
That'd be the one.
You have the money? $2,000.
I only have a 1,000, but I can get the rest afterwards, but I need it now.
No money, no drugs.
My wife is dying.
I don't care. Get out of my shop.
What's wrong with this guy?
2, 1, action.
All right, class. So, should the man have stolen the medicine or not? The scenario you have just witnessed is one commonly used to demonstrate Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Kohlberg believed that there were 3 different levels of moral understanding that motivate the actions a person will take. The first is the pre-conventional level, in which morality is controlled by external factors. Bad behavior is that which is punished by authorities, while good behavior is that which is rewarded. Next comes the conventional level. Here, individuals try to conform their views to existing social rules because they believe it will help maintain social order and positive relationships. Finally, we have the principled level. Here, people move beyond the unquestioning support of the rules of their society and instead make decisions based off of abstract principles that should apply to all situations and societies.
Kohlberg, what a guy. Although Kohlberg is best known for these stages of moral development, the field of education will forever remember him for his contributions to moral education in schools. The first major contribution Kohlberg made to this field was the idea of moral exemplars. He theorized that examining the lives of people who exemplified certain principled morals would increase the moral reasoning of students. While this wasn't strictly true, it has been proven to cause students to want to become better people and act more responsibly. His second major contribution was the idea of introducing what he liked to call dilemma discussions to the classroom. Having these discussions about moral dilemmas has been proven to increase the moral reasoning of students, particularly when one or more members of the group possess a higher level of moral reasoning than they do. The final major contribution was the idea of just community schools. These schools gave students and teachers one vote each for deciding on school policies. Kohlberg's theory was that this would help build a sense of community, promote democratic values, and increase moral reasoning.